So what's up? This is the first episode of The Kitchen Sink. You already know it's your boy John. I'm going to hop in. You already know these are going to be raw, unedited podcasts. So right now I'm going to talk about being a night owl. A productive night owl. So it is about 2-something o'clock right now out here in the country. And everybody is dead asleep. My beautiful wife is snoring. My dog is passed out on the couch. My kids are sleeping. Cats are outside sleeping. Everybody's sleeping, and I'm up because I have so many freaking ideas that run through my head at night. Now, this might be a boring podcast. So I'm just gonna be talking, but it is what it is. Stay with me, guys. I think I have a bad case of insomnia. Now, I've never, ever been checked out for it, but I know somewhere I can't go to sleep at night. And it's been that way since I was a little boy. Now, I remember there used to be a street light outside my room when I was a boy, and I used to play on my Game Boy. Before the Game Boy had, the fancy attachment light and everything else, and the backlight. So I used to, tuck that under my pillow. Whenever my mom came in, gave me a goodnight kiss, used to run up to the window and, play for hours and hours and hours. That's what I did when I was younger. Or I used to go sneak downstairs and play some video games. Or sneak downstairs and watch some porn. Depending on the age. I'm just trying to go age by age now. And it got to a point where once life hits, then you're up late at night thinking about the what if. What if I didn't say this? What if I did this? I think everyone goes through that phase in their life. And, or whenever you had like an argument with someone that day and you think, man, if we had that argument, I would have said this, I would have said that. And, yeah. So I've just always been up late at night. But I've always had like these little ideas that I've never really acted on. I'm always like, oh man, this is a great idea. And then, go to sleep, finally, passed out from exhaustion. And I just never really worked on them ever. I've had bazillion ideas. And then what really switched was when I met my wife. That was when my late nights turned from what ifs to what if I can? What if I, it used to be what if I couldn't do this? What if I can do that? What can I do to get to this? And that's really what changed. So ever since I met her, shout out to my black queen. So ever since I met her, my mindset has definitely changed. So I've had some crazy ass ideas just late at night. Like right now, I'm up at night. The Astros just won, and my wife is wearing a shirt my brother gave us. He donated a lot of his clothes when he found a woman who wanted to, make his life all fancy and shit. So shout out. So he donated a lot of his clothes, as a younger sibling, get everyone's old clothes. Whatever, I ain't complaining. So one of his shirts is an Astros shirt. And I really don't mess with the Astros, I didn't watch the World Series when they won. But today we beat the Yankees in the 10th or 11th inning off a home run from Correa. And my wife, it's funny, she's wearing a Astros shirt that he gave us, and the players is Correa. Correa? Corora or Correa? And I'm just thinking, as I slowly have this new venture into sports now. I'll talk about that later or in this podcast. But I was like, I used to sell a lot of like clothes, back in the day. I used to get that shit off thrift stores and flip them real quick. So I'm like, man, this is pure profit right here. Shout out Pure Profit. Go YouTube them. That used to be my old name whenever I used to flip shit. But as I'm thinking, man, I'm like, man, I could probably make about $15 off her shirt right now. I nudge her a little bit. I was like, hey, baby, I know you don't care. She wakes up snoring. What are you talking about? I was like, hey, I know you don't care, but the Astros just won. She's like, oh, okay. I was like, hey, but I may need your shirt to wash it in the morning. And she's like, oh, what? It's like, oh, it's so late. You know how, once you get to that age, of 36, you ain't trying to hear shit after, 7:30 p.m. But, I just had that idea, like, hey, I'm probably going to sell this shirt tomorrow. I'll let y'all know how that goes. But I've just always had these ideas. I just had an idea about, like, I just got into, we're going to go more in depth in another series, but sports cards. I'm investing in sports cards now. And I just had a great idea how to make an extra grand, possibly every 2 weeks. You know, I tried to pitch it at my wife, but she's, knocked out. She was like, why don't you just go record? And I was like, you know what? I tossed and turned. A few more ideas came, and I was like, you know what? That'd be good. Now I have an idea right now is what if some app out there, not Facebook, not TikTok, some video app for night owls. Call it Scope is what I said. Like a telescope, like you scope. Like it's a video app. You can video someone in your region. I don't know. I know y'all teens are going to make it like into booty calls or some shit. I'm talking about for like people who are just up at night. They have no one to talk to because majority of people are asleep. And and your friends on Facebook, you're not really friends with them. You added them in high school. And you haven't talked to them since then. You're just nosy. You know what I'm saying? Not those motherfuckers. But just people who are just up at night and want to talk. So I had this idea. You'd make a profile. You know, your interests like business, sports, whatever. Right? Somewhere in your region. So you're not talking to someone when it's like 10 o'clock. Or maybe you can. Maybe that might be better instead of talking to someone else who's up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know? Maybe you talk to someone across the world. It's like 1 p.m. So it's like different views. You know? So something like that. You can create it. And then, of course, you're going to have to put your location. And then you can just talk to them. Video Skype them. Be like, hey, what's up, man? What's up? What time is it? 3 a.m. What time is it over there? If it's someone in the same region, same time. But if it's someone over there, it's like 2 p.m. And y'all can just chit-chat for hours until the sun comes up for you. You know what I'm saying? And then when they go to sleep, that would be crazy. I don't know who I would have to get into, but just for the record, I made Scope. If an app ever comes out for video chatting late at night, let me know if there's an app like that. I'm not really an app type of person either. My wife calls me an old man because I hate downloading apps. Like, I will delete apps to make room for new apps. And I have like a Samsung 9. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a good phone. It's just I don't like apps like that. But shout out, if Scope ever comes out after someone hears this, let me know. Or who do I need to get in contact to make that happen? Because that would be a badass app. But I just flow at night, man. I just flow at night with ideas in this trains. And it sucks because I would love to get some sleep. I would love to get some sleep. Me and my wife and I are starting this fitness challenge. We're waking up at 5 o'clock. We print out some Roman workouts or German workouts, 10 sets, 10 reps. She's trying to trim down. I'm trying to bulk up. We're about to vlog that, so we're going to make that on YouTube and stuff. But I just have so much ideas. Like, this podcast right here, I know it's just me babbling, but I have great ideas. I have interviews lined up once I get a following, and that's going to be lit. I want y'all in December. There's going to be a great interview. It will probably be video too, also. It's going to be a great interview. I put that on everything. But I have interviews lined up with other people. I thought about this podcast for a minute now. I just never jumped on it until my wife and I started listening to, what's that podcaster's name? The chick with like the really, really good-looking teeth. Good-looking teeth. What is her name? She's like an entrepreneur. She lost, man, what is her name? Nicole Walters. Until my wife introduced me to her, we started watching it at night. I was like, man, just do it. And that's what everyone else says, just do it. So I'm just doing this podcast shit, and hopefully it can catch up to whatever. I'm starting a YouTube page for my sport cards investment. I'm starting another YouTube page with my wife for our fitness vlogs and fitness journey and whatnot. And yeah, I'm just up at night. And it was cool when I was younger. I used to work overnight, security, so I could just do that. And I'm it's okay. I'm 25, so I can stay up late, late as hell. I can run on about 3 hours of sleep, perfectly fine. But I just late at night, I already know I could talk to y'all for the next 30 minutes about ideas that I have. And it's crazy. It is just crazy how many ideas I have. But it's the thing about just putting it in motion. You know what I'm saying? If you have 10 ideas and you go act on them, most likely 9 of them, 9.5 of them are going to fail. But it's okay because it was your idea and you went out on a limb. And I want to shout out to my wife who's always, since day one has supported my my ideas. Even though how crazy they are, they're just like, hey, don't put all your chickens in the basket or eggs in the basket and, go for it. So, yeah, I'm just up. I just have ideas. Like, I remember one night I was at our old house, and I had this idea out of the blue. Hold on. Gotta drink that Sprite. But, had this idea. Because at the end of the day, you gotta invest in yourself. You don't want to invest in anybody else. You got to invest in yourself. So, my wife and I have our own meal prep business. Shout out to Foster Foods. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a, an Instagram, go to Foster, FOSTER _foods 510. Go check them out, man. And great food. But we had this idea. I had this idea that Foster Foods would go to Foster Fit, would be our fitness meal, fitness plan, personal trainers, yada, yada, yada. Then that would carry over to Black Chapter, which was my photography. I do have Black Chapter, actually, on the Instagram. Go to the _black _chapter. I'm just doing that as a hobby. I haven't really, dug deep into that. But, so Foster Foods would go to Foster Fit, which would go to Bananas Foster, which would be us, and then Black Chapter, which would be me just taking pictures of my beautiful wife that I'm in love with and showing black love and everything else. So Foster Foods would be meal prep. Foster Fit would be for fitness. Yeah, and all these other things would branch off. Bananas Foster would just be, hey, vlogging, doing vlogs, showing how crazy, hey, we married each other after 17 days on a coin flip. And we found a Craigslist mobile efficient that night. Hey, shit, crazy. Alright, so Bananas Foster, just vlogging how different our life is. And then Black Chapter was photography. Then I would get into black love. I really got out to that after Andrew Clifton on Instagram, Facebook. I like him. He's a black artist, support black businesses. And then that would go to a podcast that we would make about black love, family, yada, yada, yada. And all that shit would just circle in. And then from there, it would turn somewhere between there from Foster Foods to the podcast. There was also a t-shirt company somewhere in there too. So I had that idea at night a long, long time ago, and I wrote it. I mean, it was not like a Word document. What are those things called? With the graphs and shit? I don't know. What are those things called? What are those things called? I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about, those graphs and meetings and shit. And it just had it all laid out to the mother freaking T. So, yeah, I just have those ideas at night. And I'm going. And now I'm just at the time of my life where I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Anything that comes to me at night, I'm either going to write it down. Because I know I won't forget it. But sometimes it's better to write down. Because that's what I do every night before I go to sleep. I write down. I plan my next day. Because how to be successful. You plan your next day. You become more productive. Then what I used to do is at the end of the day, before the day started, the night before, I'd plan my day. And then at the end of that day, I would write down, hey, I woke up at, I usually will wake up anywhere from 5 to 6 a.m. So I'd write, let's say my day would be 5 a.m. I woke up, 5:30 stretched, yada, 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 6. I went for a jog, 7, checked Facebook, 30 minutes, 8, went to work, 9 at work, yada, yada, yada. And you just kind of like, hey, dang, I got this done, this done, this done. But hey, I wasted, 2-3 hours on scrolling through Facebook that people don't care. So I'm at the point right now in my life where it's go time. I'm stepping my own damn neck. I'm not caring about anyone's grass right now. I don't care if your grass is greener. I don't care, but I'm stepping on my own throat right now because I'm trying to retire at 40. That was my goal when I was younger, was to retire at 40. I did the math. I don't know if I can, so 45. I'll have an empty nest at the age of 39, 40. So that'll give me 5 extra more years to just focus and grind after I'm 40. But that's where I'm at in my life right now. At 25 years old, I'm thinking about 20 years from now. So if you ain't on my level, and majority of my friends aren't, and I've cut them off, it is what it is. But that's where I'm at right now. I got all these ideas coming. And I would love it if I had a group of friends as motivated as me to get into the Airbnb business. Yep. If I had like 5 or 10 friends, we would just save up for a few years, put down on a nice place. It's really about location nowadays. And boom, we would make our money back. But I don't have friends like that. I have like maybe 1 or 2 friends that are really, I'm going to say one. I know one friend who's actually down to like do that shit. He's helping me with stocks, getting into stocks and everything else. So he's not really a friend. I would say he's an associate. He's an acquaintance. We don't really talk every single day, but he's very knowledgeable, and that's what I do. I try to be around people. Well, I'm going to try to be around people that have been there, done that, because that's where I'm trying to be at. Like, I can't take advice from someone who's had 8 different. I can't take relationship advice from someone who's had 10 different divorces, or someone who's never been in a relationship before. And that's what's hard too. Now I'm just babbling, but that's what's hard too about being married. Because out of the majority of my friends, I'm the only one that's married, only one that has kids. So a lot of their advice, practically sucks. They can't relate. But I'm gonna end this podcast about being a night owl. But if you're a night owl, just write down your ideas and go for them. And hopefully one of them sticks. So if Scope sticks, y'all heard it here first. All right. But I'm probably going to have my wife on the next episode, talk about our fitness journey, all that good lovey-dovey shit. So I appreciate y'all for listening to me babble for the last 18 minutes, all right? Please share, subscribe, like it, message me. You already know. Everything but the kitchen sink.